All right, how's everybody doing? Thanks for joining me tonight. Just getting everything set up for my live stream. Obviously. Tricky sometimes. I want to play some piano and guitar tonight. And it's sometimes tricky to find the exact angle to have the microphone, play piano, go back and forth. So some of you are my Patreon supporters. Take those off for a second. Some of you are Club Soul. I'd love to migrate everyone over to Patreon eventually, but that's okay. Wherever you can follow along with my journey and enjoy some music, and those that are like-minded like myself who love Motown and not just the music of Motown, but the history behind Motown and classic soul, have probably been following along with me and hopefully getting a kick out of the journey I've been taking with the Undercovers. And before that, I was doing an Icons of Soul. And it was a documentary I did with Lamont Dozier. Most of you guys, I don't need to tell you this, but I'll just give you a little bit of a recap, just to give some context to anyone that might be new. So yeah, Louise, you're here. Awesome. Bonnie's here too. Awesome. Good to see you guys. So you guys would know this story, but I'm just, and Regina too. Awesome. Good to see you guys. Some folks are joining. I was just mentioning how I was doing Icons of Soul, which was my experience with Lamont Dozier, who co-wrote and produced all the Four Tops, all the Supremes, How Sweet It Is for Marvin Gaye. The list goes on and on and on. Incredible guy. I got to spend some time with him, write some music with him, including a song called My Life is a Song, and I Hate to See You Go, and learn from him along the way. The whole concept of Icons of Soul was to get to do some songwriting with these incredible icons. Felix Cavalieri out in Nashville, went to see him. My buddy Aaron came with me for all this stuff, of course. And he was in a band called The Rascals, and they had massive hit songs back in the 60s, right alongside of Motown. They were releasing music in conjunction with, not in conjunction, but in parallel with Motown. And what I noticed even back then was that they were feeding off of each other. So something that would happen with, in Philly or New Jersey or New York would certainly influence what was going on in Detroit in Motown. You had artists like the Four Seasons, and you had Felix Cavalieri and the Rascals, and all kinds of other groups. And then, of course, you had the Four Tops. You had the Supremes, Stevie, Marvin. I don't need to tell you. They were feeding off each other, and people aren't always super aware of some of the threads and the stories of how these different groups influenced each other, how history influenced the music. The assassination of Martin Luther King was a huge catalyst in Motown, and same thing with the assassination of Kennedy. There were these things that were real catalysts for Motown, Berry Gordy and Smokey Robinson in particular, and Lamont, and their desire to create music that connected people, music that crossed barriers, racial divides. It was really fascinating. It was stuff I was loosely aware of, but to get to spend time with some of the people like Smokey and Lamont that were right there, and Felix. And then there was another thing that I discovered, which was this thing called the Cross-Atlantic Connection. And that was with the Beatles and some of the sounds coming out of the UK and Europe, which were also influencing Motown as Motown, and again, classic soul and New Jersey. And that was influencing a lot of the stuff that the Beatles were doing. So I was out touring Icons of Soul, the music of Icons of Soul that was created doing these documentaries. I did a bunch of tour dates. Many of you folks that are here and have been supporting me have been to some of these Icons of Soul concerts. They're really, really fun. And obviously, I'm also doing the Undercovers touring, which is super fun too. And it's very much, I do a lot of my Smokey Robinson stuff. We talk about a connection between Kenny Rogers, Lionel Richie, Smokey, and we touch a little bit on kind of the historical facts behind some of these songs because it's so interesting to us and it's also interesting to the audience. But um, I recently got asked if I'd be interested in doing a residency for my Icons of Soul thing, which has been a dream of mine for many, many years. It's something that's been in the back of my mind where I'm like, I would just love the chance to do this show for more people, not have to pack up and move every single night, intimate room, and just do 7 shows a week or whatever it was, and really develop it and have proper lighting. And it was just something I thought it would happen in Vegas. Well, in all my touring that I'm doing these days, I met some people at an incredible venue in a theater in Sarasota, Florida. And we started chatting, and they were looking at a new show to develop and started to find out about Icons of Soul and what I do. And we're very, very interested in developing it. And we've been developing it, and there's many similarities to what I did with Icons of Soul, but it's grown from there. It's expanded from there as far as bringing in some Beatles, bringing in some Hall & Oates, bringing in some, you might be surprised to hear this, a couple of Phil Collins songs, because Phil Collins was very influenced by Motown, a really good friend of Lamont Dozier. So there's these connections. It's called Motown Connection. It's no longer called Icons of Soul. It's called How Sweet It Is, the Motown Connection, which I love that title. I feel like it's just much more. Icons of Soul, I had to do some explaining with people whenever I was doing the show. I'd have to say, oh, this is what it is. It doesn't tell you much about it. It could be icons of, it could be anything. It could be movie stars from back in the 30s and 40s. It could be. So this just explains more, and I just like the ring of it. And the theater helped come up with that concept, and I loved it. And so it's just been super fun. We're going to show clips from the documentaries. We're going to talk about my time with Lamont. Incredible musicians that are joining me. Unfortunately, Kevin and Joel from the Undercovers, they're not able to do this residency with me, but I have 2 other musicians. I'm so excited about working with them. One of them is a really close friend of mine, Greg Johnston. Another guy named Miles Aubrey from Nashville, one of the best guitar players I've ever worked with. Incredible singer, was a Broadway star as well. Played Johnny Cash in Ring of Fire on Broadway. He also played, he was in Jersey Boys. Like, this guy is amazing. So all that to be said, just giving you some context. And I wanted to let you know that because of your support over the years, should you come to the Sarasota area and want to see 1 or more shows, because it turns out I'm going to be doing 9 shows a week. So I get Mondays off, 1 show Tuesday, 1 show Wednesday, 1 show Thursday, 2 shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So tons of opportunities to see this, and you're not going to pay for the ticket. I'm going to get you guys free tickets. So just for being supporting me, and we'll, before the show we get to kind of chat and hang out. So I think you're going to really love it. You're going to be familiar with it because you're going to know a lot of these songs that I've been writing and playing for a long time. But there's some new stuff. I'm doing a Phil Collins medley. I'm still working on it. I can't play it for you tonight because I'm still crafting a lot of this stuff out. I'm going to try a couple things out for you tonight. Part of the impetus to do tonight's live stream, I've been meaning to do a live stream for a while. I've just been touring so much. I owed you guys a live stream, but also I want to start getting used to doing some of this material in front of audiences. So it's a bit of a dress rehearsal, not really a dress rehearsal. I'm not really dressed very fancy, but you get what I mean. And I'm going to be workshopping some of the stuff for you guys. So maybe in a couple weeks, I'll do another live stream where I'll do some of the Phil Collins stuff. I want to do some Hall & Oates kind of medley that I'm working on. I might do a couple things tonight, but I want to work in 3 Hall & Oates songs. There's 3 Beatles songs, but it's going to be more of a medley. I haven't had a chance to get onto that, but I want to play you some of what I'm going to be doing. So, Paula, good to see you. It's been a while. Great to see you. Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you. I am so excited about this, guys. I'm telling you. It's just so nice. And I get to play a bit of original music, like Vodka Martini, if you're familiar with that song. Whenever I do it live, even if it's in a if we throw it into the undercover set, like people just really react to it, and I just love being able to do some original music. I love reimagining all these covers, but they're allowing me to do some of that, which is really fun. And this theater is beautiful. It's called the Florida Studio Theater. It's like a speakeasy kind of. There's 2 levels, very kind of old fashioned, but beautiful lighting. You sit at tables, you can have drinks, and they have a restaurant there and stuff. And so it's more of a cabaret style thing. About 100 seats. So very intimate, and I'm so excited about it. It's going to be so much fun. So one thing I'm doing is I'm going to talk about the connection and Motown connections between Felix Cavaliere and somewhat surprisingly, Smokey Robinson. And I'm going to play a couple songs that I'm working on, a bit of a, not really a medley, but a 2-song medley. And then I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Grooving on a Sunday afternoon, doing anything we'd like to do. Can't imagine anything that's better. The world is ours and never we're together. Ain't a place I'd like to be instead of grooving down a crowded avenue. Oh, really? Couldn't get away too soon. Keep on spending sunny days this way. Gonna talk and laugh our time away. Feel it coming closer, day by day. Life would be ecstasy, you and me endlessly grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Doing anything we'd like to do. We're grooving. Every day, everywhere. Love the way that you groove with me, baby. Baby, let's cruise away from here. Don't be confused, the way is clear. And if you want it, you got it forever. This is not a one-night stand, no. Let the music take your mind. Just release you fine. We're gonna fly away. Glad you're going my way. I love it when we're cruising together. Music is played for love. Cruising is made for love. I love it when we're cruising together. I love it when we're cruising together. I love it when we're cruising together. Hey Tammy, how you doing? Unfortunately, I can't see everyone that's viewing this, but some of you are tech savvy enough to message me right here, and I see it when I'm doing a lot of things at once. I'm doing my live stream software and blah blah blah, and I can see Tammy. That's awesome. Welcome to the live stream. I also have something I'm really excited to give my call them patrons. I don't know that I love the term patrons. Is that an okay term? How they refer to people that are on Patreon. Yeah, I guess patron. Yeah. I have a music video for that song, Cruisin', that I did with Kevin and Joel, and it's a cappella. We're not releasing it to the public, but I wrestled it out of their hands, and I'm like, I'm giving this to my patrons and my Club Soul members, and I'm going to give you guys the video, the MP4. Remind me to do that. I've been meaning to do that for the last couple days, but I'm heading out for some undercover shows tomorrow to Florida for 2 shows. But as soon as I get back, or maybe when I'm even on the road, I'll get in the hotel room, I'll do that. So I was going to mention, you heard me do this little medley of Cruisin' and Groovin'. So just as an example of kind of some of the stuff I'm going to talk about in the show, I did not realize that, I thought Groovin', the Rascals song, I think it was 1963, as it turns out. It was a #1 hit. I thought that was influenced by Cruisin'. When I heard that song, I always thought, man, that really reminds me of Cruisin'. Just, it rhymes with Cruisin'. It just has a similar feel, similar melodic. It's not, hey, they're both very original, but they just seem very of the same ilk, for example, so to speak. But I got to actually spend time with Smokey Robinson and Felix, and I somehow, without offending either of them, was like, Felix, did you ever feel like cruising and grooving? Baby, let's cruise, grooving. I mean, they're the same chords, right? Same feel. Do you ever feel like that's kind of like cruising? And he's like, yeah, but here's the thing, Luke. I wrote and released Groovin' exactly a year before Cruisin' became a #1 hit. And I was like, well, how did you feel about that? Like, do you think that influenced Smokey? And he goes, I think so, and I loved it. And he goes, that was kind of the whole thing about Motown, is sharing ideas, influencing each other. There wasn't all the litigation that happens now, where everyone is suing everyone else for, they think that someone's lifting one of their songs or whatever. And then fast forward a few years, and I find myself spending some time with Smokey Robinson, and I asked him the same question. I was like, yeah, I was with Felix Cavalieri. I love Felix. He's great. The Rascals. Oh man, I love that song Groovin'. And I didn't even have to ask him. He was like, yeah, I was in my car with my ex-wife Claudette, and we were driving down the Pacific Coast Highway, and that song came on, and we were kind of cruising, and I got a different melody in my head. I loved those chords or whatever. And so I just thought that was amazing. And again, Motown connections. There are all these connections that I'm discovering over and over again that are just so interesting. And then when we get into the Beatles stuff, I can't get into it tonight because I just haven't had a chance to really, it's a big show, and there's a lot of moving parts, and I'm still kind of carving things out, but I just wanted to kind of, this is my first phase of workshopping this with you, where I get to kind of, it's like a table read, talk it through with you, with an audience that I feel safe, I'm in a safe place with you guys, and we're going to workshop this together. So, speaking of which, let's do another song. So I'm going to do a song. This one, just take it easy on me. I'm still literally learning the song. So the other thing with Felix Cavalieri, King of Blue-Eyed Soul, he really influenced other Blue-Eyed Soul singers like Hall & Oates, and then another singer named Michael McDonald, who I love. So we found a way to kind of work in a song that I've always loved called I Keep Forgetting. And we may try, let me know what you think of this joke that we might try. So in the show, my buddy Greg, who's playing bass, he's like, yeah, so we should do a song by Michael McDonald, obviously influenced by the Rascals. And then I'm like, well, what song do you want to do? And then he says, I Keep Forgetting. And then I'm like, well, what do you mean you keep forgetting? Like, it's on the set list. No, yeah, I keep forgetting. So a bit of an Abbott and Costello moment. I'm sure people will be rolling their eyes, but I don't know if we should kind of go there or not. It could either be really annoying or really funny. You never know. I may try it one night and then just. I keep forgetting I'm not in love anymore. I keep forgetting things will never be the same again. I keep forgetting how you made that so clear. I keep forgetting how every time you're near, every time I see your smile, hear your halos saying you can only stay a while. Hey, I know that it's hard for you to say the things we both know are true. So tell me, how come I keep forgetting I'm not in love anymore? I keep forgetting things will never be the same again. I keep forgetting how you made that so clear. I keep forgetting every time you're here, how you never wanna live a lie, how it's gone too far, and you can only tell me why you're gone, and the game is through. If this is what's real, if this is what's true, so tell me, how come I'm not in love anymore, baby? Things will never be the same again. I keep forgetting how you made that so we're not in love anymore. All right. Got through it without any train wrecks, so I'm happy with that, actually. I'm very happy about that. So just a reminder, I'm workshopping this stuff with you. There will be when we do the actual show, the residency in Sarasota. Incredible guitar player will be joining me. Greg will be playing bass, keys. He's playing some kunga as well. So it's just going to be, I'm so lucky to be sharing the stage with these awesome musicians. So I want to do another song for you guys. I've been talking a lot tonight, but you can tell I'm excited about this new show. It's not really a new show, actually. But it kind of is. It's a new version of an old show. So this is a song that was a funny moment on the golf course with Smokey, where he was really frustrated with my golf swing. He's an amazing golfer, and it was just so crazy that I even got the chance to play 18 holes with the guy. He was under the impression that I knew how to golf really well, and when I got there, he quickly realized, he's like, this kid's not too good. He's really and if you play around with someone that is just learning, it can be really frustrating. But he handled it quite well. But he finally kind of snapped, and he was just like, he's like, Luke, there's rhythm in golf. It's like music. That's why I love it so much. It's like music, and there's a rhythm to the golf swing. You got to get a tempo on your putting. You get a flow to the game. All these musical things. He really showed me the musicality in it, but I just wasn't getting my swing. So I don't know if you've ever seen Happy Gilmore, where Adam Sandler is having trouble hitting one off the tee, and Chubbs, played by Carl Weathers, gets behind him, and he's like, come on, man, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. And he's like, it's just the funniest scene. That happened to me. Instead of Adam Sandler and Carl Weathers, it was me and Smokey. And Smokey was like, come on, it's all in the hips. He's like, you're not moving your hips, baby. And he kind of was like smacking my, what, and my friends were just laughing their heads off at me. And he was like, man, you got to shake it like a vodka martini. And I was like, what a great line that is. And he's like, yeah. And he's such a genius. He's just like coming up with like incredible like song lines, even when he's not trying. And that really stuck with me. And of course, you may have heard my song Vodka Martini. That's going to be a big part of this show. So really fun to be able to do an original song like that I used to do all the time. So I thought I'd play that one for my last song of the evening. I'm going to wrap things up there, but there's so much more to talk about. There's so much more to play through. Join me probably in a couple weeks. I'm going to jump back on, and we'll workshop more of this stuff. I'll tell you how it's progressing, and I'll play more of the music I'm working on. And I really hope some of you guys can find yourselves down in beautiful Sarasota and join me at one of these shows. Paint that tight dress on, make those red lips shine. I wanna see your high heel walk, I wanna see you blow my mind. Moonlight shining like diamonds on your skin, looking like a movie that I wanna be in. Ooh, all you gotta do, shake it like a vodka martini. Yeah, I wanna mix it up tonight. Girl, you're making sexy look so easy. You know just what I like, the way that you move me. Love that thing you do to me. Like the way that you move me. Love that thing you do to me. Make a man. Stop, girl, stand there, let me look a minute. I've been eating what you got and I just gotta get it on. All you gotta do, shake it like a vodka martini. Yeah, I wanna mix it up tonight. Girl, you're making sexy look so easy. You know just what I like, the way that you move me. Love that thing you do to love the way that you move me. Love that thing you do to me. All night long. Shake it, shake it. All night long. Shake it, shake it. All night long. Shake it, shake it. All night. Shake it like a vodka martini. Mix it up tonight. Girl, you're making sexy look so easy.
know just what I like, the way that you move me. Love that thing you do to me. Like the way that you move me. Love that thing you do to me. Shake it like a vodka martini, baby. Oh, like a vodka martini, baby. Like a vodka martini, baby. The way you shake it, I like the way you shake it. Really love the way you shake it. Like a vodka martini, baby. Really like the way you shake it. Girl, I love the way you shake it. Oh, shake it like a vodka martini. Yeah, I wanna mix it up tonight. Girl, you're making sexy look so easy. You know just what I like.
All right, guys. That's all my time for tonight. Turn off the reverb. I want to thank you guys again for just supporting me, being patient with me when I kind of get really busy and I'm behind on things, and when I'm exploring other stuff like this new show, it can be really all-consuming, and I'm just so happy to kind of come up for air, be able to share it with you guys. And what's really cool again about Patreon is that it's very exclusive and it's very intimate in a different way, where I feel comfortable to work on new music. Sometimes I do songwriting, sometimes I'm working on new shows, and just bring you along for the process, which I don't often get to do. And it's really helpful for me just to even just know that you're there. And I love the comments. Always feel free to give me like the comments and we can chat. Yeah, I will keep you posted. Remind me, I want to drop into the old Dropbox. I'll give you a link to this music video, which is really beautiful, for Cruisin'. It's like an a cappella version, really, really cool. And then in a few weeks, we'll do another live stream. We'll keep working on this show, and hopefully you guys will meet me out in beautiful Florida, South Florida. All right, have a great night, guys.